So yes, I've manifested love. I released a bunch of trauma and so many things have changed for me. So the only way to find out and see what really happened is for you to sit down, relax, and watch. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Iris from universaliris.com, your favorite psychic millennial and life coach, bringing you some self-love and awareness and catching you up into the things that have been happening in my life, how I've gone through this like really crazy shift from releasing ancestral trauma, because it really started from there, and letting go of a lot of material things in order for me to be even more financially independent. And it hasn't been an easy journey. It has been actually a very difficult journey, but now I think the hardest part was actually getting rid of the material things. The other hard part was actually finding the balance and finding my own personal freedom. And honestly, that didn't take quite that long because I went through a very huge inner healing process, something that I had no idea that I needed to heal, right? However, these things get activated when you start asking the universe for more. When you ask the universe for more, there's always a trade-off. So it's like, okay, I want this X amount of money or this X lifestyle. So we need to dive deep and see what is the trade-off. The trade-off is that you have to dive deep. Go into the parts of yourself that are telling you that you can't have it, okay? So let me catch you up from the last video. So the last video I talked about how I dreamt of my soulmate, and if you haven't watched that, I highly suggest you watch that, because dreaming of your soulmate is something that does happen commonly. However, what I thought would be turned out to be something actually completely different, which gets me to, making this video of me talking about how I manifested love. Yes, I'm in a new beautiful relationship and I am soaking up all the goodness, all the beauty. It feels so nice to get along with somebody and have that person respect you and click and compliment each other. However, there has also been contrast, lifestyle differences, personality differences. I wanted something bigger from the universe, and then the universe is like, okay, but you're gonna have to heal your family trauma, because what you're asking for, it's outside of your family lineage, your family trauma. In other words, it's outside of what your family has ever known. Okay, so I come from a middle-class family. We are hard workers, just like most middle class, most working class, right? We are hard workers. But I was asking the universe for different things. I was asking the universe for more financial stability. I want to travel more. I want to have more freedom. With that meant that I needed to love myself even deeper. I needed to break from the family trauma cycles that have been instilled and that I opted in as a soul. And the universe guided me to all those things. And I highly suggest you watch the family trauma video that I have on YouTube. Amazing video. I mean, I put so much effort and emphasis to that video to help you guys understand why it is that you have these recurring patterns when you're trying to level up, basically. And so I just went with that path. I did it blindly. Not that blindly, honestly. I had the guidance of the universe, and I trusted that guidance. And that's why it feels blindly, because I'm not trusting anybody else. I'm only trusting myself, you see. I'm putting all the responsibility to myself. So I became my best client and I decided to continue to become the person that I want to be and the person that I want to attract. that means that I had to take some really deep risks. And one of those risks was sell everything in my apartment and live out of my car for some time. And so this situation is a situation that nobody really wants to be in, right? It goes against everything that we're taught in society. But I knew from a heart perspective that this situation was what was going to take me to the next step. Okay? But not only have I manifested love, not only have I been able to heal a lot of ancestral trauma, especially work ethics, because when you have a certain work ethic, it's very hard to break that. And sometimes, actually, every time, you have to break that in order to level up. And so I needed to break my own work ethic of working hard and always working to the point that I had chronic pain and I was not even aware of, right? Once I was able to kind of put myself first, you see, I let go of my material things, I let go of my attachments, I went deep inside myself, and it's a process. If you decide to embark on this journey, it's not easy. But I can honestly tell you that the hardest part is letting go of what other people think. That is the biggest job that you will ever have to do. Stop giving a fuck about what other people think and do you. That is how real goals can be achieved. Because on the way to your goals, whether it is you want to manifest a relationship or whether it is you want to be like myself, that you want to either be a coach, take your business to the next level, I thought things more on a business perspective, and the way that I saw it was, well, if I can develop my business, that means I have to develop myself. That also is going to bring the partner that I need, right? Or that I want. So instead of me focusing so much on the love aspect, I focused on myself and I focused on my business, but really, really, really on myself. Because one thing that I didn't quite realize is how much I was not putting myself first. I was putting my business first, other people, family members, dogs, whatever, and I was putting myself last. And I think that's the key to really manifesting a healthy relationship. For the first time, I can honestly say this has been the most healthiest, respectful relationship I have ever been, and the most loving relationship that I have ever been. So much to the point that, it makes me question, is this really my forever person? Because it's just a whole other level of health, a whole other level of openness. And it wasn't quite easy getting there, even when you meet somebody. The inner work, self-awareness, is not over when you meet that person. If anything, you have to take it to a whole other level, because now you're gonna have to learn how to get along with this person and not let yourself be triggered by this person. And guess what? That's kind of impossible, because the other person, if they're really true to be your partner, they're here to trigger you and they're here to show you other little parts that you still have to work on yourself, right? And then you can't take it out on them. You have to realize that you are just triggered, which means that it is something within you that needs to be healed. And guess what? You're gonna do that for him too or for her too, correct? So it's not as easy. And so the decision of me, getting rid of all my stuff and going inside my car and making that my home for a while has made me create a very, very strong root chakra. The number one thing that people ask me is about safety. Am I safe? Like, is it, are you crazy? And then some people view you as a failure, right? I needed to make a drastic change in my life, and I needed to learn to be more secure of who I am. That was the best option for me. And love only came when I started to feel, and the healthy love, you see, that moment in the relationship or that moment when you meet somebody and you know it's healthy, that healthy, beautiful part of openness and just flow, that only came when I became happy with myself and my situation. When I actually started to see the freedom, the beauty of myself and that situation. And the level up doesn't end here. I have also been able to manifest a whole new set of clients, people that want to work with me, that see my values, see the journey that I'm on, and they're interested. They've been following me for a while, and now they want to take the plunge that I'm taking, or they want to redefine their life in some other way. So I leveled up in that way. Everything pretty much right now is up, up, up. I used to be that person that I was chronically living in the future. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen, next week? How am I going to feed myself, right? I don't have that worry anymore. I don't live in the future. I don't live into what's going to happen, the idea of what's going to happen with this, right? I don't, because I know that things get solved. I get ideas, I get visions, and you get visions too. Just because I am very, very connected, and actually even now more, I can see more. Like my third eye has opened up even more. Why is that? Because I'm more cleared of my insecurities and fears. You see, when you put yourself through this process, through the diving deep process, you're basically expunging your fears in a very healthy and safe way. And then beautiful things can come into your space. The things that you've been wanting can come into your space. It's such a beautiful feeling to wake up next to somebody and you hold them, and I don't know, I haven't had that. I haven't had that in so long. Some consistency, right? I'm just so happy with my partner. I'm so happy. We are both in our own inner journey, and we both can understand that from one another. This is what happens when you take the plunge and dive into the unknown. Because this is what it is the unknown. And in the unknown, you will find yourself. In the unknown, you will find your blessings. The problem is that we do need support, because many times I've seen it so much. Somebody that dives into the unknown, that maybe even went to, live it out of a car, or went to open up some sort of coffee shop or some other project, and they only got there halfway. Maybe this is you. Maybe you're the one that is like really looking for love, really wants to open up yourself with the energy of love, and you invested some money, but it hasn't given you the result. You haven't seen the difference. It all goes back to you. How much effort are you really putting? And are you putting the likelihood, your whole entire life, onto somebody else for them to change it? Because that's another thing that does happen. We spend like so much money on a course, but then we don't finish the course. And then they're asking, why it is that things are not shifting. It's all about how much you put in. If I see it for me, you better bet your ass that I want to see it for you too. And I want you to thrive, you see. So it's all possible, but it's all how much work and how much you're willing to sacrifice. You are not your material things. You are not your past. You're only in your present. And the future can always be changed. It can always shift. And so right now I'm soaking up in this new love, and not just love in relationships, but love for myself. At the end of the day, my relationship, my clients, and even my work are an addition to my life. I created a situation where I do things that I love all the time. And when you do things that you love all the time, that is what's going to bring you the relationship and the abundance that you are looking for. But with that means that you're going to have to dive deep into all the other ugly little thoughts that are holding you back. And so I'm going to end it with this. I love you guys. Hope this was inspirational for you. I hope that this kind of gives you an idea of maybe for your own projects, of the things that you're gonna have to let go and sacrifice and work on. If you want to work with me, you're more than welcome. If you want to learn more about me, visit my website, get to know who I am. Maybe it's a match, maybe it's not, and that is totally okay. If you want to get closer to me, well, hit me up on Instagram, because I love Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.